To my kitchen. I am Mohammed the Egyptian cook, and for tonight's live, I will be making an Egyptian style street burger called Hawawshi. So I'm currently live on TikTok and on YouTube. So welcome to everybody who is joining in. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm making an Egyptian style street burger called Hawawshi. It is essentially a pita pocket packed full of spiced meat. So here's the pita bread that I will be using. It is a smaller but thicker style pita bread that opens up and has a pocket inside. You're going to pack it with the spiced raw beef and then bake in the oven. This is a very popular street food in Egyptian culture, and that is what I will be making for tonight's live. So let's go ahead and get started with the video process. For those of you who have seen my lives before, you know I always start with my voiceover audio recording. Here I have all of my notes and instructions of what I will essentially be saying and or doing. Anything above the bold line is for my intro and outro. Anything below that is for the process, the cooking process. Anything highlighted is my way of letting myself know to point the camera back up at me, and I will be saying said instruction while the camera is on me. Anything that is not highlighted is essentially my way of knowing the camera is going to be angled down on that particular step. So you see here on page 2, there is a lot more stuff highlighted, meaning that the camera will be propped back up on me for those parts. Page 3, same thing, almost like 40% of it is going to be on me. And then the last page, it's just a few lines at the end. The best part, Yallah Bismillah, because that means I get to eat. And then I just have my ingredients for the tahina sauce, which will actually be used as the dip for this hawashi. And then the last page, which is the ingredients for this hawashi. So let's go ahead and get started. I need to turn my camera on for this portion. And my lights too. So for this first part, I'm just recording the voiceover audio for the parts of the actual recipe video, the final cut, where the camera will be angled down on the food. I record my audio separately. Then when it comes time for me to edit, I overlay the two to essentially put it all together. So let's go ahead and get started. Combined tahina sauce. Nope, I'm not supposed to say sauce for this part because it's not sauce yet. All right, so combined tahina. Let me try that again. Combine tahina with fresh lemon juice, ground cumin, sea salt, I said sea salt too quickly at the beginning, like as I was hitting record, so I didn't get all of the sea in the recording. Sea salt and black pepper. Slowly add water, let's try that again. Slowly add water, a couple splashes at a time. The tahina will become whiter in color. Let me try that again. I don't know. I shouldn't stop for that one. I thought to myself I should because of the comma and the conjunction, but it goes. The tahina will become whiter in color and thinner in consistency as you mix in the water. I still pause, but when it comes time for me to edit, I can eliminate that gap where I paused. This is the smooth consistency you want the tahina sauce to have. Fresh parsley goes in the food processor. Add roughly chopped yellow onion, green bell peppers, jalapenos with the seeds, and fresh garlic. Blend the vegetables for about 10 seconds. Then pause the blending to push down the sides. Now transfer the blended vegetables to a strainer. And push out any excess water. The lahma goes in a large bowl. Add the blended vegetables. Season it with paprika, ground coriander, ground cumin, sea salt, and black pepper. Now put on your imaginary gloves and mix it. Let me do that one again. Now put on your imaginary gloves and mix it really well. The seasoned lahma goes in the pita pocket. Set the hawashi on a baking tray and brush the pita I don't know what just happened there. I just fumbled my words. All right, let's try that again. Where am I? All right. Set the hawashi on a baking tray and brush the pita with olive oil. Flip the hawashi halfway through the bake time. Here it is, fresh out of the oven. Let me do that one again. Here is the hawashi fresh out of the oven. The pita should be nice and crispy with a juicy center packed with lahma. I should say spiced lahma. Let me do that one again. The pita should be nice and crispy with a juicy center packed with spiced lahma. Egyptian style Hawawshi. me do that one again. And I also need to add another line. Pair Hawawshi with tahina sauce and it is ready to serve. Egyptian style Hawawshi. All right, that wraps up all of my voice over audio recordings. I can turn my monitor that way to 9:16 aspect and tilt my camera as well. And we can go ahead and get started. Let me make sure it's lined up. It looks okay to me. First things first, I am going to be making the tahina sauce. So here's everything that we'll be using. I have the lahma, of course, 2 packs. This is a mixture of beef and lamb. Then I have some veggies over here. I got my jalapenos, green pepper, yellow onion. Lemon is actually for the tahina sauce. And then I'm not going to be using all this tahina sauce. This one is kind of running a little bit low, so I will need to use some from the new one. My spices, of course, and then a whole lot of parsley. And the pita bread is over here. So actually I need a few things from over here, right beside you. I need some bowls. For the tahina sauce. And then I need some of these smaller ones too. Just set those to the side. I'm going to need some water as well. I need to adjust my camera down onto the bowl. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's see how this looks this way. All right, let's see how we look. Once I get situated here in just a moment, I'm actually going to be moving you guys over here so that way you have a better point of view of the cooking and the preparation process. So let me go ahead. We're going on a little trip. 1 second, I need to make another adjustment. So I'm just walking behind you guys to adjust the camera down. All right, let's see how we look. Hopefully everybody can see me okay. All right, so I got YouTube over here and I got TikTok to my left and YouTube to my right. All right, I think it looks okay. Hopefully everybody can see me okay. Let's go ahead and get started. So I need the tahina sauce. I also need a spoon and the sea salt and black pepper. And I also need the cumin for this one. also go ahead and get the lemon ready. So I just roll it under the palm of my hand against the countertop to loosen it up. It makes the squeezing process much easier. Here's my cutting board. Oops. All right, move this out of the way. Anytime I'm looking to my right, which I think is to your guys' left, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the monitor to make sure that it is lined up for what I'm about to record for the final cut of this video that we'll be posting to my social media in the coming days. So this is getting towards the really end. So I'm just gonna empty this out to the best I can, and I'm going to move on to the next one to get my shot that I need. All right. 2 seconds into this and it's already feeling chaotic. It's okay though. It happens. All right, let's move on to the new jar and let's try this again. Of course. I broke the little tab thing that you're supposed to pull. So there we go. Be right back, just throwing this stuff out. Of course, the plastic just wants to cut around the rim. All right, we are back in business. me delete that first shot since I'm not going to use it. I'm going to give this a nice mix because anytime you have tahina, the oil does separate from it, so it essentially the oil will rise to the top. So what you want to do before you scoop it is just use your spoon to mix it. I need to grab that knife again. Just pushing all these thicker pieces off. Let's see how that shot looked. If it's good, then I can move on, scoop what I need, and then we can move on to the lemons. That will do. All right, that should be okay. This one I no longer need. And this one is empty, so it can go in the garbage. Now on to the lemons. Clean up my mess. Looks like there's a couple seeds that went in there. All right, so that's it for the seeds. Up next is the ground cumin. Next is the sea salt. peppers next. And finally is the water. Oh, I need to record. I'm going to add a little bit more water. I want it to be a little bit thinner. So when you make tahina sauce, the more like water and also lemon juice that you add to it, the whiter in color it becomes. And obviously the thinner it becomes in consistency, but it also becomes a lot lighter in color. So it goes from that like mild brown color to like a very light brown, like near white color. Kind of like an eggshell color in a way, if that makes sense. I'm going to add just one final splash of water. And that should do the trick. So this is the part where I need to take another shot showing the smooth consistency. So it's smooth consistency you want it to have. This tahina sauce is a perfect dip pairing for hawashi. Okay, I need to adjust the camera up on me. Actually, do one more shot. Okay. Now I can adjust the camera up on me. So just one moment as I walk around to do that. All right, let's see how we look. high. All right, good to go. So this is the part where I have to record 2 different shots or 2 different clips. One is where I say this tahina sauce is the perfect dip pairing for Hawawshi. Then also for my intro where I say start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. This tahina sauce is the perfect dip for Hawawshi. Let's see how it looks. This tahina sauce is the perfect dip for Hawawshi. Okay, so far so good. Now I have to record my next clip where I say start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. All right. Start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. See how we look. We should be okay, hopefully. Start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. Let me watch that again. Start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. Let me do it one more time. Start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. Let's see how that one looks. Hopefully it's better. Start this recipe by preparing the tahina sauce. That one should be okay. Now on to the vegetables. All right, so this can go to the side because the tahina sauce is all set. So it's just a few simple ingredients. It's the tahina paste, so I'm gonna start with TikTok. It's the tahina paste with lemon juice, ground cumin, salt, pepper, and water. It's a great sauce that you can pair with a lot of things. I'm making it with Hawawshi. You can also pair this with like chicken, shawarma, whatever it is that you want to pair it with. So here you go, YouTube. This is tahina sauce I just made. Like I said, it's the tahina mixed with lemon juice, ground cumin, sea salt, black pepper, and water. So I'm going to set this to the side. And before it comes time for me to plate it, I'm going to transfer that into a smaller bowl for both presentation purposes and for the dipping purposes. Go ahead, clean up my mess. I also need to wash this coal really quick because I am going to need it for these coming steps. Just one moment, please. All right. Here's my cutting board. Done with the lemons. Set the knife to the side just for now. parsley. Let me take this twist tie off. Onion, I'll leave that whole for now. I'll leave everything whole. All right, no sticker on that. Got the green bell pepper and then the jalapenos. Am I missing anything? I think that's all the veggies. Parsley, yellow onion, green bell pepper, jalapenos. Oh, the garlic, of course. Turn these that way. Okay. That like that. This is the part where I say, now onto the vegetables. So this should be an easy one. Just needed to get it all arranged on here to where I hope it looks aesthetically pleasing on the screen for the final cut. Now let's prepare the vegetables. Let's see how we look. All right, we are good to go. All right. For this next part, it is fairly simple. So the parsley, I'm going to leave it as it is. The garlic, I do need to peel some, so I need to go ahead and do that. The jalapenos, I'm going to just cut the ends off. That's it. I'm going to be using the whole jalapeno, seed and all. And then what else? What else is there? The onion I need to peel and cut off. I need to cut off the ends and peel. And then what else? The green bell pepper. I just need to roughly chop and remove the seeds from the green bell pepper. So it should be fairly simple to get all of this ready. So let me clean up this garlic. Now onto the yellow onion. So this one's fairly simple. Just peeling it. I cut off the ends. I'm peeling off the skin. And then I'm going to just roughly chop it into, you know, like basically quarters. It doesn't have to be exact because it's all going to go in the food processor anyways. So that's the onion. Next, the jalapenos. I'm just going to cut off the ends, saving everything else. So that takes care of the jalapenos. And finally, the green bell pepper. For green bell pepper, an easy way to slice it, just cut down, flip it upside down, cut down these ridges, and then just break it off, each piece, clean it as you go. So there's one piece, just going to cut it in half. It does not have to be perfect because once again, it is going to go in the food processor. So here's another piece from the green bell pepper. Just going to roughly chop it in half. Here's what's remaining of the green bell pepper. You just break off that center piece. And then you can take like a smaller, like a paring knife or something smaller to clean off those ends as well. But that's an easy way to do it. You don't have to worry about getting seeds all over the place and all that nonsense. But we are currently in my kitchen, so seeds and all that nonsense is still going to happen. As it is happening right here in front of us. All right, here's those little leftover pieces by the stem. Going to get rid of all the garbage. All right, now I can set this to the side, and because I need to bring the food processor in its place. So let me clean up the counter space. let's come on over with the food processor. Right, I need to plug it in. So just one moment as I go behind you. All right, we are plugged in. Here's the food processor. I also need to adjust the camera. All right, parsley, yellow onion, green bell pepper, jalapenos, and fresh garlic. Let me get this knife out of the way. Let's try that again. Now onto the onion. I'm gonna wash this off. so right now for the blending process, just want to blend it until it's fine. Just do it for a few seconds, like up to 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. And just push the sides down. Make sure everything gets blended. We are almost there. There's just a few stubborn pieces that need to make their way down to the bottom. This should be the last one. Blend the vegetables for about 10 seconds. Okay, you want the vegetables to be fine. All right, I need to adjust the camera. Need a serious pose for this next one because this is going to be the part. I already recorded the voiceover audio for it, but where I say you want the vegetables to be fine. So I just need like a serious pose that will last me like those 5 seconds or so that it takes me to say you want the vegetables to be fine. So I did this in one of my last videos for the blending process where I just had like a very serious stoic look and a lot of people were commenting on it. So I'm trying to recreate that here. All right, let's try it again. All right, serious faces, people. All right, so I need all of you who are currently in the lobby to be serious too. I was recording the whole time. All right, let's try it again. We should be okay. Let's see how I look. Hopefully I'm looking at the camera and not off to the side. Let's see. All right, that should be okay. All right, enough of this food processor. We can get this out of the way. So let me put it back behind me where it belongs. Now I need that giant bowl as well. Giant bowl. All right. Somewhere down here. Now transfer the vegetables to a strainer and push out the excess water. So I need the smaller size bowl, not the big bowl yet. This one will be okay. And there's the strainer. It is also time, well, it's past time for me to break my fast. It is currently like 8:15. Let's see. Yeah, it's 8:15 over by me, so I'm definitely way past the time for me to break my fast. Just some water in my giant mug. Let's get that out of the way. I will eat once this madness of making the hawashi is done. So let's go ahead and get this situated. So the reason why you're pushing out the excess water from these veggies, well, the excess water primarily comes from the onion. That's what out of, so there's parsley, yellow onion, green bell pepper, jalapenos, and garlic currently in this food processor. The yellow onion is primarily what is going to have the most water content. So when you make hawashi, you want to remove as much of that water as possible. It does not have to be nearly 100%, but as much as you possibly can. The reason for that is because when it comes time to baking, so you're actually going to be incorporating this with the lahma, and when it comes time to cook it and bake it, it's going to release a lot of that, that moisture, and you do not want the bread to become soggy. So you can do it one of two ways. You can use a strainer, as I am about to do, excuse me, or you could use a cheesecloth. So either method is acceptable. So I also need to adjust the camera down for this next shot. So that way it focuses on the bowl down here and the strainer. So just one moment as I adjust the camera, please. And thank you. All right, let's see how we look. Now I have to tilt it down a little bit more. That should be okay if I hold it up like this, and then I come in with the other spoon. Set that down there. We should be good to go. So all that blending, and the first thing that I scoop out are stems from the parsley. It's like, really? So I'm just gonna set those to the side. Let's try that again. Put a little bit more in there, it won't hurt anybody. All right. Where's the towel? So even without me squeezing, it's already dripping the juices. It looks like TikTok just gave me that little puzzle thing. I hate these things. All right, sorry about that. TikTok and YouTube. right about there, and that's where I can squeeze. So it is as simple as that. Let me stop recording. There we go. So there you have it. Just setting it to the side for now as I gather all of this green that's in here. So let me go ahead and get the blade out of here. I'm going to rinse this off so it does not dry up. All right. So the blades are rinsed off. I can go back later for anything that I missed and clean it off. There's the second scoop. There's the third scoop. All right, so I recorded everything that I needed for the purpose of the recipe video. So now for the final cut of the recipe video that we'll be posting to my social media pages. So at this point, I can now just do my thing and empty this. Like I said earlier, does not have to be 100% drained. You just want to get a good majority of it out of there. This will help prevent the pita bread from becoming soggy when it comes time to cooking. Almost done here. going to take a little bit of water. Or kind of a lot of water. Just to swish around, get as much as I can out of there. It's going through the strainer anyway, so it will be okay. All right. So that is done. You no longer need this green juice. See how it tastes. Ugh. Nope. It's like drinking parsley and onion. Nope. It is not good. It would be better if it had like a little bit like salt and pepper. It kind of reminds me of the juices from like when you make like an Egyptian style salad, but it also needs the vinegar. So this is just like, nope. It's actually kind of reminds me of kale. So no, do not drink this. Nope. Oh man. That was horrible. All right, let me clean up my spot. Let me rinse this off as well. All right. Let's see where I'm at. This will help prevent. So I forgot to record one of my lines. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. This will help prevent the bread from becoming soggy during the baking process later in this recipe. So originally I had it highlighted as yellow for me to pan the camera up on myself as I was squeezing the juices out, but I completely missed that as I was going through the process, but it's okay. I just recorded the audio for it, and I'm just going to, I have multiple shots of me squeezing the juices out. I have 3 different ones that I can choose from. So I can just compile it all together and it should be okay, hopefully. If not, worst case scenario, then I can just eliminate that line. And if somebody chooses to keep the juices in, then that's on them. All right, this next part, I need my board. Set this a little bit further to the side, out of the way. This is garbage. And now the lahma. How can I do this? I know how. All right, first I'll do it like this. Let me pan the camera up just a hair more. All right. So this next part, I'm going to say, where's the lahma? And as I'm holding the empty tray, then I'm going to take another, then I'm going to put the lahma on the tray and then say, here's the lahma. So kind of be like a magic trick, I guess, if I can transition it smoothly with the, from clip to clip. And hopefully I'm holding this in the right position and height for both. So we'll see how smooth I can get that transition to go. All right, so here's the first part, empty tray. I say, where's the lahma? Where's the lahma? Let's see how it looks. Where's the lahma? Okay, I think it'll be okay. All right, now I need to take this out of the pack, like so. And then okay, there's lahma number 1. Okay, very good. Throw that in the garbage. Let me slide it over a little bit more. All right, just to make room for lahma number 2. I'm going to wash my hands. Be right back. Here's the lahma. All right, I think I got it. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the tray's like almost in the exact same like position. Let's see. Here's the lahma. Mm-hmm. I think we got a winner, both on the first try. All right. All right. Now I can move this plate out of the way. The lahma I'm just going to set to the side for now because I need to position this giant bowl in place. Oh, this can go to the lid to the food processor. Let me rinse it off. Right. Let me go ahead and reposition my camera onto this bowl. clean up my mess. I'm going to wash my hands, then I'm going to clean up the counter really quick. All right, now back to the vegetables. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the strainer again, and I'm going to scoop it. I'm going to, not scoop it, but like, I guess scoop it, yeah, scoop it into the, in with the lahma this way. So there's one. There's two. I don't know why I'm counting this out. It's not like that's going to make a difference. I was doing that earlier too. Whatever, it is what it is. I already started, so this one's going to be 3. And this last one is going to be 4. Done with the strainer. You can go in the dishwasher. To the side for now. Now I need some seasonings on the next page. Season it with paprika. I wrote paprika first. That's what it gets next. So paprika, ground coriander, ground cumin, sea salt, and black pepper. Paprika. That was the paprika. Up next is the ground coriander. Up next is the cumin. Here's the spoon from earlier. Up next is sea salt. Sea salt. Up next is the black pepper. The salt and pepper can go. Up next, that's where I said, now put on your imaginary gloves. Where am I? Put on your imaginary gloves and mix it really well. And then after, so I'm just going to mix it just for a few seconds with my hands while the camera is still focused down on the bowl. And I'm going to have to adjust the camera up because that's going to be my sarcastic part while I'm still in the process of mixing, and where I'm essentially mocking the haters, and then that's where I introduce the okay khalas and I start yelling with my comeback. So that's what's about to happen next. Oh boy. All right. So this next one should be easy. I don't have to say anything for this part because I already recorded the audio for it at the beginning of this live. And for those of you who are just joining in, welcome to my kitchen. I am Muhammad, the Egyptian cook. And right now I am currently working on making Hawawshi. Hawawshi is an Egyptian style street burger. I am currently live on TikTok, which is to my left, and YouTube to my right. So welcome to each of you who are currently in the lobby. I am hard of seeing, so I cannot see exactly who's in and who's commenting. So forgive me. For those of you, I know you like to interact in the comments with the creators where they give you shout outs and all that type of stuff. I am legally blind, so that is why I do not necessarily engage with the comments. I just cannot see what is happening on the screen, nor can I tell you how many people are in the lobby or anything that it is currently happening right now as we speak. And in the future, as things progress, I will get a third phone connected so that way I could also go live on Instagram as well, and that way I could essentially be live on all of my major social media platforms. So let's go ahead and get started, or continue, not get started, but continue the process. Right now I have a giant bowl of lahma with the fine greens. The fine veggies is essentially a mixture of parsley, yellow onion, green bell pepper, jalapeno, and garlic. That was all thrown in the food processor to make it nice and fine. Well, not completely fine, but close to it. And then I just added the seasonings, a whole bunch of paprika, ground coriander, ground cumin, sea salt, and black pepper. And the bottom layer is all of the lahma. So now it's time to put on your imaginary gloves and mix the lahma really well. So how can I do this? I'm just gonna go for it. Like when I originally wrote it, like where I wrote that line, now put on your imaginary gloves, like I thought I was going to pretend like I'm putting on a glove. But looking at the screen right here, the monitor that's connected to my camera that's recording for like the final cut of the recipe video, it just doesn't look right. In my mind, I pictured it differently, so I'm just going to go for it. I need a bigger bowl. Oops. Yeah, I definitely need a bigger bowl. It's okay. So let me get a little bit more of this done before I pan the camera up for my recording line. More spillage, that's okay, it won't hurt anyone. Be right back. So let me get this cleaned up and I need to reposition my camera. So I will be right back. Please and thank you. All right. We are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are in with us, let me just go ahead, push this all right back into the bowl, and then let me clean up the rest of my mess. All right. Now I need to pan this camera up on me. I actually need to pull it back as well too. So that way it can show the bowl. And plus my body language with this next part, which is essentially becoming many of my followers' favorite part of my videos, where I say, where essentially I mock like the haters with whiny comments, like in a whiny tone, and then I come back with my okay khalas, and then I retaliate with my okay khalas, and my comeback. So let's see if we can get this in the first take. Hopefully I can. All right, take one. Let's see if we can get this in the first take without breaking character or without without fumbling my own words. Oh, you're cooking while wearing a suit. I'm so confused. Okay, khalas, sit back down in your seat and behave because class is now in session and I'm the principal. That was a mouthful. Let's see how it looks. I'm gonna record. So I think this one was good, but I'm gonna record one more just for good measure, just in case. And then when it comes time for me to edit this video, I'll compare both of them and then make my decision from there. Oh, you're cooking while wearing a suit. I'm so confused. Okay, خلاص, sit back down in your seat and behave because class is now in session and I'm the principal. I have a feeling I'm gonna like the second one better than the first one. Let's see. Because a lot of it had to do with my body language as I'm delivering the message. All right, number 2 is the winner. All right, now, do I have any more recording lines for this part while mixing? Nope, that's it. Now, I just make sure that this is well mixed. And then we can move on. The okay khalas is that part is like becoming my favorite part of my recipe videos, because essentially it's different each time. The only thing that's consistent is the okay khalas, but the like my tone and complaints and my comebacks, I try to be as original as possible. And these complaints that I get, like the whiny parts, these are things that people are actually saying, like in my comment section on past videos. And I essentially, what I do is I just remember the common ones, because there are some really popular ones, you know, that people keep on recycling and commenting and all that type of stuff. One of which is the way I dress. A lot of people do get confused, which I don't understand why. It is what it is. It's like, you know, to me, it's like a person going out in pajamas, you know, to go grocery shopping or to go to class. Like, I'm just as confused, but it is what it is. You know, you're comfortable in your pajamas out in public. I'm comfortable with how I'm dressed right now. However, if you saw my most recent video that I posted this morning, where I was doing a mahshi flip, I was not wearing my usual attire. I was actually wearing a hoodie. So yeah, that was like my casual day, which was yesterday. So not in my usual attire, which is also okay. All right, the lahma looks good. Let me push it all like this. My next shot. I'm going to go wash my hands. Be right back. Also, at this point in time, I should preheat my oven just to be on the safe side. All right, on to the next shot. So where am I? I am now on to the thick pita bread. I also need my cutting board. Now to a thicker style pita bread like this. Let me try that again and go like this. Okay, that one should look better. Now to a thicker style pita bread like this. Let's see how that one looks. going to do it again because the bread was out of focus as I was turning it. I want people to be able to see, not just from, I want people to be able to see two things. One, the size of this pita bread, like essentially the circumference is smaller than your traditional pita bread. And two, the thickness is much thicker than your traditional pita bread. So those are the two things I'm trying to show in this shot. So let's try this again. Now to a thicker pita bread like this. All right, hopefully it all stayed in focus as I was rotating it. Let's see how it looks before we move on. Okay, so far from the front, it's good. Now to a thicker pita bread like this. All right, I think it was okay. I think it's okay. We'll see. I mean, it's only going to be for a second. It should be okay. I need to record my next line. Slice it in half and open up the pocket. Slice it in half and open up the pocket. Slice it in half and open up the pocket. The seasoned lahma. Okay. So I need to adjust my camera angle down. So just one moment, please. As I get ready for this next shot. All right, let's see how we look. Just reviewing that last shot where I pick up the bread and open up the pocket. Nope. Let's try it again. I think that one was better. The first shot just took way too long to do it. It took a few times to get it open. There's the timer or not the timer. All right, let's see. All right, that one was much faster and better. Now onto the next shot. It's essentially where I put now to a thicker, no, I already did that. The seasoned lahma goes in the pita pocket. Okay, so the Hawawshi. So this is an easy one. So I need to actually zoom my camera out here, like so. I need to bring the lahma over here. Let me move this outlet out of the way, or plug, whatever this thing is called. Okay. Let me actually cut the other breads as well that I will be using with this. So do this one as well. adjust my camera. Let's see, how can I do this? All right, this should be okay. I just need to keep my hand towards, like, right over the bowl and the the cutting board. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. So this next step is very simple. Just going to pack the spiced lahma into the pita pocket, like so. Really? The first bread just completely ripped in half. I'll set that one to the side and not use that for the video. Let's try this again. Oh man. Take two. Let's see how it looks. That one should be okay. I'm going to continue with this one as I'm not recording. I'll do a second one just to be on the safe side. Another one ripped. Set that one off to the side. I'll just repurpose that bread. Another one ripped. This can't be happening. I have more bread though, it's okay. It'll all be okay. Oops. All right, this one should be okay. All right, I'm done recording for that part for now. Now I just need to even this out better. All right, here you go, YouTube, and here you go, TikTok. So I'm done recording what I need for this part. Let me make sure before I continue. Now the thicker, okay, the seasoned lahma. Okay, set the hawashi on a baking tray. Okay, so now I can continue just packing this, the rest of the bread with the lahma. I'm going to set it on a baking tray and bake in the oven. But before I bake it in the oven, I do need to brush it with olive oil. For those of you joining in, welcome to my kitchen. I am Muhammad, the Egyptian cook, and right now I am currently working on making Egyptian style hawashi. Hawashi is an Egyptian style burger. Is what I should say, not Egyptian style hawashi, because hawashi is Egyptian. It actually originated in Egypt, I think in the 60s, like the 1960s. Um, I think the guy's name was Ahmed al Hawash, something like that, if I remember correctly. So Hawashi actually originated in Egypt. Then it was later adopted by other countries and cultures. Like in Palestinian culture, it is known as arayas. Similar concept. Some of the spices and the ingredients might be slightly different, and the process as well, but it's essentially the same thing with a different name. It's kind of like the difference between tahina and falafel. Um, tahina originated in Egypt, and falafel, when it was later adopted by other cultures and regions, they swapped out some of the ingredients. So, for example, tahina is supposed to be made with split fava beans, but when it was later adopted by other regions and cultures, some swapped out the split fava beans for chickpeas, and some did like a 50-50 split of the split fava beans and chickpeas. And when that happened, um, people started calling it falafel, but just know tahina was the original, just like for hawashi, hawashi was the original. So we are moments away from the baking process. I just need to finish packing these pita pockets with the spiced lahma. Another one ripped, put that to the side. Another one ripped. All right, let's try this again. This one ripped on the side, but not so severely. I'm still going to go with it though, since it's not completely torn apart like the other ones did. This one is determined to rip, but I am also determined to keep it since I already committed this far. It ripped on both ends, but I just won't pack it as much, and it should be it should be okay. See, when I hold it together, it looks okay. All right, I'm going to go wash my hands. All right. I still have some lahma left over, about half the lahma left over. I'm actually going to be saving it for later. All right, I need to bring over the baking tray. I need to set it there. This can move out of the way. Olive oil. And a brush. Nope. I need to space these better. Let me get rid of those other two. Just set that there. And there. Let's try this again. this next shot, I'm actually going to adjust the camera down for a different angle. So just bear with me, please, as I adjust my camera. Alright, so that takes care of that shot. Now the next shot. So it's just a quick lift as a transition for my next shot where I need to adjust the camera up onto myself. And that is the part where I say baking this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes and flip it halfway through the bake time. Bake this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. And flip this halfway through the bake time. Nope, I already recorded the flip the hawashi halfway through the bake time, so let me redo that part. Let me get rid of this one. Take two. Bake this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. See how it looks. Hopefully I was holding the tray high enough. Let's see. Bake this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to try it again. Bake this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Let's see how it looks. Bake this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Bake this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20. I think we're good. All right, just a shot of me walking off camera. Now let me go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way. Now I need to move the camera over to show the, what's it called? The oven. So let me clean up this counter space. clean this up before I move my camera over. Then we can go ahead, throw it in the oven. And then we can clean up everything else that we need to be cleaned up and get ready for our next shot. And then we can also transfer the tahina sauce that we made at the beginning of this live into a more presentable bowl. So let me go ahead and move this camera. Oops. We're going on a little trip, ladies and gentlemen. Now I just need to get this camera set up. This, how does this look if I put it right there? Let's see, I need to zoom in a little bit. I need to bring my light down as well. All right. All right, YouTube and TikTok. Oops, breaking things here. I'm actually going to move you guys back over here just for the time being as I get ready for this next shot. Pull the camera back over here. I can move. So I'm just getting ready for my next shot for when it comes out of the oven. So that way I'm not going back and forth while it's hot and all of that nonsense. So I'm just going to get it ready. I don't like that angle for it, so let me adjust. Let's see how that one looks. So I just leave that placemat in place. Whatever this thing is called. It's my way of knowing. So that way I'm ready for my next shot. I'm going to turn off my camera for this time being. And it is currently 9:38. So about like 15-20 minutes from now, it should be done. In about 10 minutes, we're going to flip it. So let me go ahead and actually move this here for now. Actually, I'm going to tilt you guys this way while we clean up the kitchen. So earlier I just rinsed these off just to help prevent like any of the pieces of food that were left in there, just to help prevent it from crusting over. So I still have to actually wash these parts to the food processor. Here's the tahina sauce that we made at the beginning of the live. I also need to transfer this to a more appropriate bowl, a smaller bowl as well. First we'll get cleaned up, and then we will move on to getting the rest of we'll move on to moving the tahina over to a more appropriate bowl. To the side, dishwasher. Oops. I think that's everything that can go in the dishwasher, for now at least. So right now, we're waiting on the hawashi as it bakes in the oven. So I'm just going to clean up the few dishes that I have. And then once the dishes are set, we can move on to the tahina sauce and also flip the hawashi. Hear the hawashi sizzling right now in the oven. That is a good thing. There, we are almost there. Just a few more of the bigger things for me to wash and clean up. Just food processor components. It shouldn't be too bad because I did rinse it immediately after using it, which makes for the cleaning process to be much easier. Two more pieces to clean. I think that's everything. Then we can check on the hawashi because the sizzling keeps on getting louder and louder, and that is a good. That is hot, and that the loud sizzling noise is a good thing. Is what I was trying to say. So we are getting close to that halfway cook time or bake time for the hawashi. All right, how can I do this? Let's see. Let me move this over here. I'm going to bring you guys over here. Back to your regular seats. So I'm not going to record for my for the final cut of the video for this part. So just simply flipping it. That's all that's happening right now. smells really incredible right now too. Oops. I think that one cracked the bread, but that's okay. Who's judging anyways? All right. Set this thing for now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, YouTube. Here's how it looks so far, halfway through the bake time, and here you go, TikTok. Halfway through the bake time, we're going back into the oven. So it's been 10 minutes so far in the oven. So it takes roughly like 15 to 20 minutes based on the thickness of the amount of lahma you put into the bread. So 15 minutes is like a good mark for the timer to check it and for it to be ready. So we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, let's take the tahina sauce that we made at the beginning of this live and let's transfer it into a much smaller bowl because I will be using the tahina sauce as a dip for the hawashi. So let's go ahead and get that situated. Let's see here. That one's too small. I'll go with this one right here in the middle. That one should be okay. All right. So all of this needs to go into this. Oops. As I just spilled some on the side. It's okay. And I just spilled some on the counter. Oh my goodness. The whole purpose of transferring it to a smaller bowl was to make it look much better and also for the dipping purposes, but that's okay. It is what it is. Can't win them all. All right, set that to the side. That tahina sauce is really good. It's going to be incredible for the hawashi. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Right now, it smells heavenly in here, and I cannot wait for the hawashi to be done. Actually, grab this giant plate from up top. That's what I'll be using to plate the hawashi and also the tahina sauce. So once it comes out of the oven, so I'm actually on the last page. So I'm done with this page. I already recorded my lines where I said, here it is, fresh out of the oven. The pita should be nice and crispy. And it's getting really loud and violent in there, so it's pretty much almost done. And my next line, which I also already recorded at the beginning, where I said the peanuts should be nice and crispy, with a juicy center packed with the spiced lahma. And then I show the final shot of me holding the hawashi up, where you can get like a nice close-up on the camera of the finished dish. And then where I plate it, and then I say to use tahina sauce as a dip for hawashi. So here it is. And in this tahina sauce, if you missed that part of the live, it's essentially tahina mixed with fresh lemon juice, ground cumin, sea salt, black pepper, and then water. And you just mix it all together until you have this dipping sauce, the perfect dip for hawashi. And then, of course, I have to record my intro and outro. So I have a few lines to record for that. And then my favorite part where I say Yalla Bismillah, because that means I can eat. And I have been fasting all day today, and I did break my fast at about 8:15, so I was a little bit late. But it will be time for me to eat, so I am super excited for that. It is currently 9:54, so like a couple more minutes and we should be good to go. In recent news, I did just post a recipe video for kahk al-Eid, which is essentially an Egyptian style cookie that is filled with dates. If you have not seen that recipe video, definitely go check it out. I did post it 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I think it was 2 days ago I posted it. I also just posted a mahshi flip video, like a 30-second video of me flipping the mahshi. Definitely check that out. A lot of you have already been asking for the recipe, and all I am saying for that right now is recipe is coming soon. I do not have a specific date for it just yet, but it is coming soon. So definitely stay tuned for mahshi. If you like mahshi, especially mahshi krum, stay tuned for that upcoming recipe video. Also, what else in recent news? I also posted about a week ago a pickled lemon. It's an Egyptian style pickled lemon recipe video, which that video actually did really well on TikTok. So thank you to all of you on TikTok. It got well over 1 million views in the first couple days. So thank you to all of you for showing that love and support over on TikTok. It kind of was really shocking to me, especially considering that we're in the middle of Ramadan. And so many of you really liked it. So here's a look of how they are. Pickled lemons, pickled lemons. So if you have not seen this recipe video, it is posted on all my social media platforms, whether you're on TikTok or YouTube. So definitely go check that out and let me know what you think. I also, another really popular one was for my mish, Egyptian style mish cheese, which is a really old fermented cheese. I essentially showed you the process of how to prepare it from scratch. And it is in 1 year is when I will circle back to it and show not necessarily the result, because with cheese it gets better with age, but each year it's going to essentially be my annual video where I come back to what I made before, and then I will take a piece of the cheese out of there that's been fermenting for a year, and I will prepare it and eat it, and based on the level of the cheese that's left in the giant jar, I will determine whether or not I replace it with more cheese. So definitely check out that video as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and I'm going to turn my camera back on. This one over here, because it is 9:57, so I think that puts the hawashi in the oven for like 17, 18 minutes, I think. Almost 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get rolling with this. This smells absolutely incredible, and I am super excited for this. Oh my goodness. If it wasn't scorching hot, I would grab one right now and just go for it. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for it. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. Oh boy. How can I do this? I have to go for this one right here, I think. Yeah, I'll go for that one. All right, I need the towel by me for this next part. Okay. And I was recording that entire time. Yeah, I got it all. Let me make sure. The first time I set this down, I like completely like crashed into my monitor, so I had to put it down a second time. That's why I did it twice. I essentially crashed into my monitor, and it just didn't. No, it just was not acceptable. All right, let's go for it. Those edges are really, really, really hot. How can I do this? How can I do this? I'm just gonna go for this first one. Let's try that again. Here you go, YouTube, Egyptian style Hawawshi. Here you go, TikTok, Egyptian style Hawawshi. I'm so excited for this. All right, stop recording on that one. All right, now I need to move this to the side so I can get the plate, the giant plate that is. How can I do? Okay, this bowl can go. All right, this can come to the side over here. How is there still stuff on the outside? All right. I need another one of these mat thingies so I can move this over to the side. Okay. This one can go. Put this behind me for now. How will this look? All right. So put it like that, and then I turn the plate. All right, that's what I'll do. But this be in the way, probably, because I already crashed into it once. Don't want to do it again. I can bring the Hawawshi back over here. Ow. Okay. This way. All right. How can I do this? No, that's gonna fall. Okay. I need to start closest because the way that they stack, because of how they will stack. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, please and thank you. All right, let's try it again. I'm gonna come in with a different plate. Let's try this a different way. So let me actually. All right, this tray can go behind me. Let's try this again. I'm done. Oh man, that just happened. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I can eat tonight. Oh my goodness. All right, let's try this again. Just let me adjust this last one. Just that one up, that one up, and that one up. Now I can record. I need to adjust my camera up. I can record my final lines or like my introduction. I'm good to go. Then I can say Yalla Bismillah and I can eat. You have to try this Egyptian food. Let's make this Egyptian style street burger. This is Hawawshi. Let me review those 2 shots. Okay, the food's in focus. That's good. You have to try this Egyptian food. Let's make this Egyptian style street burger. Okay, we're good to go. This is Hawashi, Hawashi. This one. Hawawshi is one of the most popular street foods originating in Egyptian culture, and you have to give it a try. Hawawshi is one of the most popular street foods originating in Egyptian culture, and you have to give it a try. Okay. I don't like on how I'm saying originating. I need to change my tone for that. What is this one? This is Hawawshi. Hawawshi is one of the most popular street foods originating in Egyptian culture, and you have to give it a try. You have to give it a try. Mm-hmm. Yalla bismillah. Yalla bismillah. Yalla bismillah. Yalla bismillah. Yalla bismillah. Now for the best part. Mm-hmm. Note to self, don't eat foods with dip when your beard is out of control. I think we'll be okay. Whatever. It is what it is. It happens to the best of us. Whatever. It's a laughable moment. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, my beard is definitely going to be smelling like tahina sauce. Whatever. It is what it is. Thank you for everybody tuning in right now and being with me as I made this Egyptian style hawashi. It's been a few hours now since I started making this, and here's the end result. It's chaos in my kitchen at all points in time. So the whole purpose of me going live is just for you guys to be able to see like a little bit of the behind the scenes of what happens as I'm recording these recipe videos that I post onto my social media platforms. As you can see, um, a lot of what happens behind the scenes you don't get to see in the final cuts. So this is just a way for you guys to be able to experience a different side of what happens. So I usually do not laugh in any of my final cuts of my recipe videos. I try to take them more seriously. Um, but with my lives, because you get to see all the mistakes as they happen, so I tend to be a little bit more um, humorous, I guess you could call it, or show a little bit more humility as the mistakes happen. So with that being said, let's continue eating some hawashi. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to do another one to get the shots that I need. Hopefully I'm not as messy. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Maybe. We'll see. I'll have two to choose from. All right. Mm-hmm. Be right back. Just gonna go clean myself up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That concludes tonight's live where I made this Egyptian style hawashi. Excuse me. I also made a giant mess in my kitchen. And I also made this tahina sauce. So I made three things tonight. Egyptian style hawashi, which is an Egyptian style. I keep on saying Egyptian style hawashi. I should be saying Egyptian hawashi. So I made Egyptian hawashi, which is an Egyptian style street burger, alongside with tahina sauce. And the third thing that I made was a giant mess in my kitchen. So that actually concludes tonight's live. Thank you to everybody who joined in with me tonight on this fun adventure where I made this Egyptian hawashi and tahina sauce. I just finished eating two of these, but I'm not going to stay on live for the rest of these because I do want to be able to sit down and eat and enjoy my coffee as well too, which I've yet to make. And I also need to hop on my computer and conquer editing this recipe video so that way I can post it to my social media platforms to share with each of you. So with that being said, thank you to everybody who joined in tonight as I made this hawashi and tahina sauce. So hawashi and tahina sauce. We got TikTok over here to my left and YouTube to my right. So thank you everybody for joining in tonight. Stay tuned for this recipe video. Also, if you have not seen some of my recent videos, definitely check them out. I made the pickled lemon, which got over 1 million views on TikTok within the first 2 days. So thank you, TikTok, for making that happen. I also posted a recipe video for how to prepare mish cheese, which is an Egyptian style cheese. It's an old salty fermented cheese. Definitely check that one out too. I also posted one last week for Egyptian style taro root soup, also known as ul-es in Arabic, or if you want to say it the Fusha way, the proper way, it's kulkas. So definitely check out my recent recipe videos that I have posted. Thank you everybody for joining in tonight. I appreciate you. That concludes my live. Thank you and have a good night.